Cyborg Scuba bugs, a new moon, and save your frogs. This is 5 science stories for you in 3 minutes or less. No time to waste, let's get started. Scientists decided that roaches in your house just wasn't good enough. We needed to send them underwater too. Researchers hooked up tiny tubes to their spiracles, that's where they breathe, and connected that to a backpack containing a sponge with manganese dioxide and hydrogen peroxide. Those two chemicals react to slowly produce oxygen, allowing the roaches to stay underwater for up to 3 hours. The roaches can then be remote controlled using a microcomputer that plugs into their nervous system. Cyborg roaches have already been used in disaster recovery efforts such as after earthquakes in Myanmar in 2025. Cyborg bugs make for better scouts than robots just because they're so much more power efficient. Now with these scuba suits, they might be able to be deployed in flooded environments too. There's a neurotoxin so deadly that the CIA used it to develop a heart attack gun, and now for the first time we have an antidote. Certain algae that cause red tide produce saxitoxin, a neurotoxin that can accumulate in clams and oysters and can kill a human in hours if consumed. Certain frogs naturally produce proteins called saxaphilins, which act as a sponge and absorb the toxin. We've known that frogs have an immunity to saxitoxin for a while, but this study shows that administering saxaphilins to mice can save them from the effects of saxitoxin. As red tide becomes more common with climate change, this discovery has the potential to seriously save lives. Thank you, frogs. Farming is high-tech stuff nowadays, using satellite imagery and sensors to ensure a good harvest. New plant wearables can provide more data from the plant's POV. The wearables almost look like temporary tattoo patches, and they're powered by water evaporating off the plant, meaning they don't need any battery. Using that same mechanism, the sensors monitor the plant's ability to regulate its moisture content, in addition to its temperature and stem thickness. Put together, those metrics can provide an early warning sign of poor plant health before any visible signs start to show. A new machine learning model out of the University of Hong Kong can identify risk of certain heart conditions up to 15 years before symptoms start to show. Heart disease is the leading cause of death worldwide, and while genetic testing can help identify a person's risk, it only accounts for the hard-coded risks in our DNA. The model, called Cardiomic Score, looks at genetics but also proteins and metabolites to paint a fuller picture of your current health. Together with patient demographics and lifestyle information, it produces an individualized risk score. Patients with high risk can take steps to reduce their risk years before problems start to emerge. Astronomers have discovered a new thing. Surprisingly, we haven't found any moons outside our solar system before, but scientists used the VLT, the Very Large Telescope, to discover a new extrasolar object that kind of has a moon. The new moon isn't rocky like you'd think. It's a gas giant with the mass of Jupiter. The planet that it orbits is a brown dwarf, which is a type of gaseous object that's too big to be a planet, but too small to be a star, but still emits light kind of like a star. Alice Zerlo, co-author on the new paper, explains that the system blurs the lines between stars, planets, and moons, making it complicated to say whether this can really be called an exomoon. I, for one, am all for a bad boy solar system that doesn't play by your rules. And that's all for now. You can support me on Patreon and Ko-Fi and subscribe for more.